Hey, fellas, it's Jaffe. Good to see you. Happy weekend. I wanted to chime in briefly on this thread that's kind of getting some traction amongst game developers over on the Twitter. It's from a Sony employee. I don't know who it is. His name is Cardo, at Game Dev Cardo, and this is what he writes. He says, I don't know who needs to hear this, but don't spend money on a game design degree. You can see it right up there. I can't do the thing. It's up there. Download Unreal, find a mentor, teach yourself, join a mod team, make something. But chucking 75K, which isn't necessarily the cheapest, for a school of game design, that's not it. I have one. Hindsight is 2020. Okay, so I want to just give you my brief take on this. So he's absolutely right. 1,000% right. If your main goal is to get a job in the industry, if all you want to do, or all you want to do, but if all you want to do is eventually work at Sony Santa Monica or Ubisoft or Microsoft or form your own indie company or anything like that, this guy is right. If you've got 75K sitting around, or anything of that ilk, set it aside, live on ramen and noodles, live in the cheapest place you can, and get up every single goddamn day and learn Unity, Unreal, make your own games, learn, even if you want to be more of a designer, although if you want to be a designer, you should still learn that stuff, because the more well-rounded a designer you are, if you go in and you're a great high-level designer and you know Unity like the back of your hand and Unreal, you're going to be a much more valuable hire than someone who's got a lot of great ideas and a lot of great design philosophy, but they can't really implement anything. So I would learn those tools, but certainly if you don't have access right now, Game Maker is great, Dreams is great, Core Engine is great, there's a new one, Build Blocks, I think is great. There's just no limit, and most of the stuff is free, like he says, if you're a student or if you're learning. There's no reason, if you really think you want to make games, you shouldn't be making games immediately this weekend. And if you look back in 6 months from now and you didn't make anything, that's a gift from the universe or from your brain, or I don't know, from the ghost of Michael Jackson. I don't know, just it's a gift, which basically is a gift that says, hey, you don't want this, because if you wanted to be making games, you'd be making games, right? The tools are out there. Okay, so he's absolutely right. If your goal is to go, hey man, I want a job in the biz, don't worry about it. Don't go to school. Don't be stupid. I don't believe college is for most people. I think most college, not all college of course, but most college is a racket unless you know going in and you're not trying to be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. Trade school makes a lot more sense. Saving the money and living life and learning what you're passionate about makes a lot more fucking sense. I mean, think about this for a minute. I mean, I went to USC. God knows how much my parents paid and then the government paid because I couldn't afford to go on my own. We had to get loans and shit. I had to take classes in math and astronomy. I'm like, I'm fucking a goddamn adult, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck about astronomy or math anymore. I want to make movies. I want to do storytelling. I want to do interactivity. And it's like, well, you have to be well-rounded. Fuck you, motherfucker. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to take on the world. So most college, really, unless you're going for a very specific degree that you can only practice in that field, don't waste your fucking money, in my opinion. It's great for social things. I met my ex-wife there. We had kids. A lot of great contacts. None of that should be disqualified. That's important, but that's not the only place you can get them, and you can get those things a lot cheaper. Here's the reason you should go get a game design degree. See that fella down there? I'm going to get used to this one day, the pointing in the right direction. That's Genova Chin. Genova Chin is arguably probably the biggest name to come out of a game design program ever. Genova and Kelly Santiago, who formed that game company. Genova was the designer of Cloud. One of my favorite games of all time is Flower, Journey. He's got a game called Sky now on Apple. There's no doubt to me, and I know to Genova a little bit. We've done some projects together and stuff. He's a great guy. There's no doubt to me that he's got the kind of brain that even if he didn't go to USC, it's not like he would have been like, I guess I'll go pick up trash on the side of the road. Thank God USC done come along and made me a game designer. The guy would have not only been a game designer, but he would have been the deep thinker and the conscientious thinker that he is today. And he would have applied that sort of social and kindness view that he has of the world into his work regardless. But what a game degree does, and I think it is desperately needed, I honestly would rather see journalists get a goddamn game degree, because We have suffered in this industry, and we continue to suffer in this industry with bad journalism and bad critics. And I don't mean people who review video games for like, hey, it's a 6 out of 10, you know. I mean the same thing that music has, that film has, that television has, that literature has, where you really have deep critical study thinkers who are looking at the medium and understanding it and picking it apart and understanding the psychology about why games work and why they make us feel a certain way. We would be so much farther along as a medium if we had a shared vocabulary amongst people who do critical thinking about games when it comes to storytelling and emergence and immersion and, you know, the medium, the tech medium of games would quickly or more quickly blossom into an artistic form more regularly if we actually had people doing this kind of thought first at a college level and then carrying that into either writing about games, reporting on games, making games. So the idea that at least a place like USC, now I know there are places, I can't speak ill of any other, you know, I know DigiPen has sold itself in the press, even if it's still around, but I know when it was in the press a lot, it was trade schooly. And if you're talking about a game design degree that's trade schooly, like I think Cardo is, absolutely. Don't waste your time. You can get it for free and you can make exactly what you want. You know, there's advantages. You can learn to work with a team and get assigned people you don't like, and you got to learn the politics, but trust me, you'll figure that out if you get a job in the business. But if you're talking about a game design degree like USC offers and other schools offer, it's not just about making games. It's about understanding games, where they come from, how they affect us psychologically, why we play them, what they could be. If you go to USC works with the military. USC has all of this cutting edge virtual reality and augmented reality stuff. You ain't going to see that if you start a little indie company in your garage with 3 of your friends. You're not going to see cutting edge. You're not going to hear cutting edge thought about interactivity. If that floats your boat, either as a creator, and it should, by the way. I mean, there's nothing wrong with just going, hey, I just like the nuts and bolts of making games. That's great. But if you really want to be a creator, a force in this industry and moving it ahead, and you've got that kind of that passion for the medium, not the passion for like, I want to make another Resident Evil. I love games. That's great. Nothing wrong with that. Go, God be with you. If you believe in God, I don't. But so, you know, Michael Jackson, I don't know. Just go do that. That's great. That's wonderful. But if you are someone who is like, I love the medium, I believe in it, I love commercial products, sure, but I want to do something that's more than what we've had. I want to do something that really speaks to the power of the medium that is yet to be unlocked in any meaningful way. Then whether you read lots of books, go online, talk to lots of people, or specifically immerse yourself for 2.5, 3, 4 years in a study like at USC or a similar program, you are going to be a great value. I don't know if you get a job. I can't speak to that. I'm not here to tell you about that. You can get a job. There's a lot of ways to do that. I don't know if you get a job, but I know good and goddamn well you will be a valuable voice that continues to help this important aspect of the medium move forward. So that is my take. I couldn't fit it into 180 characters, so I figured I'd make a video. Have a good weekend. We're doing a movie night tomorrow if you're members. If you're not members, the second movie is free and open to all, although you have to be an Amazon Prime member. I think we're watching, I don't fucking know. It's on the Twitter. Have a good weekend. See you. Bye.